All right, ain't no place like low place, and I'm live. Let me check my audio, and then we'll get started on the video. All right, ain't no place like low place, and I'm live. Yeah, it got better as we went, but we're ready now. Let me get my foot off of the microphone cord, or that will mess up the audio that we just fixed. But yeah, ain't no place like low place, and we are live, man. I ask that you hit the thumbs up button when you come in, subscribe to the channel if you like. Also hit the bell icon, get notifications next time I go live. You can share this video with your friends on social media, also on your boxing forums throughout the World Wide Web, your sports forums throughout the World Wide Web, and any social media boxing or sports groups that you may be in also. So yeah, after Sean Porter and Ugas fought a tough fight, I want to let y'all know from the title, you probably think, well, he thinks Ugas won the fight. I didn't. But he did put up a valiant effort, and he fought a style that I think is suitable for the guy named in here, and that's Terence Crawford. Not suitable just to get an easy win, but suitable to be tested at your weaknesses and to see if you can overcome that. I just stated earlier in a conversation, I think Terence Crawford is something on like his third amateur career until he starts fighting the best at welterweight, until they actually believe he's ready for that. And he's going to make that decision. He's going to have to, his promoter is going to have to, I don't know, probably let him go. I don't know. Where somebody else is actually going to make that decision for him when this is over. Al Heyman's his boss in all actuality, because he's the boss of the other welterweights. That, look, it's iffy, but Ugas is with Al Heyman, but he's a B-side to Al Heyman. And Al Heyman, we've seen to give away his B-side fighters if you pay them a nice enough amount of money. And for what I seen with Ugas last night, he's not finna come and chase you. You can use the ring all you want, because he's believing that, all right, I'm going to time any attack that you have. Like Sean Porter, like with Sean Porter last night, we saw from Ugas, you lead, I follow, but I do it in a successful fashion. All right. I try to stick you with my jab, keep you where you at as I can. If you're not working, I'll jump in with a jab to the body just to get some points off. If you do come to me, then my game plan is to push you backwards. My game plan is to get you where I want you to go, and that's going backwards. YouTube isn't sending out notifications. I could tell that now, but that's okay. YouTube want to hate. But you know, something wrong with the little system, but that's cool. Look, Sean Porter last night made a mistake that would Terence Crawford make it? Or I should put that differently. Porter fights in a way that Crawford doesn't. So we can call this a mistake from Sean Porter. Sean Porter is able to move his head, get inside, and stay inside. But what Sean Porter kept doing last night, that was a mistake. And I'm not saying it cost him the fight. I just think it was a close fight. It could have went either way. But I think Sean Porter could have shored it up a little bit more if he would have stayed inside instead of jumping in there, moving his head, getting there, leaping with a jab, and then exiting as quick as possible, and then redoing it all over again. That was giving Ugas times to time him up. That's a mistake on Sean Porter's part, because we seen him get in there and stay there, whether it's on the ropes, whether it's on the whether it's in the middle of the ring, he's able to get there and stay there. Now, Crawford, on the other hand, see, I'm gonna read this comment and I'm gonna tell you how childish it is. What you just wrote, man. Ugas fights like Delorme, and Ugas struggle against Delorme. Crawford stopped Delorme. What does it have to do with the styles of the fight? That's what I'm talking about here. Ugas, that is a childish comment. It's just saying you got more to learn about the sport. I mean, could Crawford blow him out? Yeah, but that's something that I will be interested in seeing if he can do. All right. Is it going to be pound for pound #1 credit? No, but it's going to be a fight nonetheless. Now, Ugas, who elected to sit there and wait for Porter in the middle of the ring, Porter using circular lateral movement, not inches, not lateral movement in the sense of inches, but lateral movements in the sense of an arc around the ring. He's arcing and circling the ring. So Crawford, who would likely do the same things if Ugas is not chasing him, or he might just make it increments of movement, but either way, laterally moving in a circle around the ring. Crawford coming in with his hands down like he always does, and we've seen him get caught plenty of times with Benavidez, would be would be in a questionable situation with a counterpuncher like Ugas sitting in the middle of the ring. If he's now he has longer arms than Sean Porter, that is Crawford. This situation I can't account for. I would have to see the fight and see what Ugas does differently. He has about 4 inches in reach advantage on Ugas, so maybe he wouldn't have to step to get in, but he had a reach advantage on Benavidez. Let me check. From what I remember. He had a reach advantage on Benavidez. Jose Benavidez. Let me check. Jose had the height, and Crawford had like a 1 or 2 inch reach advantage. All right. And Crawford was still having to find his way to that target, stepping into that target. And that's not Terence Crawford's best game. And while he's in his learning phase at welterweight, because whether y'all like it or not, it's true. What I'm telling you is true. Terence Crawford is in the learning phase at welterweight. They went for the easiest champion in Jeff Horn. Jeff hadn't made weight properly the last 2 fights, including Terrence's fight. So, it's a little bit of physicality, but not much that you can't escape, because he's not in shape, not in the best of shape. Bang him to the body. Terence learned that. A little bit of a physical fighter. He still had to hold him a little bit, but it is what it is. He got the job done. He moves on. Then we go into the Benavidez fight, and there's several times during that fight, Terence had to come to a target that was not attacking. Benavidez wouldn't attack Terence. Terence wants you to attack him because he feels he can fend you off in about 2 or 3 different ways. Lateral movement around you, using his feet, escaping the pocket, hands up, pushing his head back and going around you. He feels he can do that. Secondly, he feels he can hold you. Thirdly, he feels he can punch you and get your respect. Even more, sometimes he feels like he can smother, but his smothers tend to turn into him just grappling. That's what he elects to do, rather than smother, work on the inside, push you back, and then make you respect that he's not going to allow you to chase him. But if you do elect to, you're going to take punishment. It's about 3 to 4 to 5 things he'll do. Now, my question is, when the fighter completely stops chasing you, like he didn't chase Sean Porter last night. He sat right there in the center of the ring, and he let Sean Porter have to cut the distance, and they had the same arm length. And he popped his jab, he worked the body, he landed straight right hands. He's an awkward style puncher, and he keeps a pretty nice little high guard. He's not the best defensive fighter in the world, but he's not horrible either. I think it will be Terence Crawford's best win, regardless of the amount of titles or anything like that. I think Ugas would be the best style matchup I've seen him in, and a learning experience to say, okay, I got to cut. He just hit me in my face. I got to cut this distance a little bit better. And if Crawford doesn't make that adjustment, then we'll see if you guys are right, or if I'm right to say, is Crawford really an adjuster, or the level of opponent and the style matchup just been conducive to what he's trying to do as a fighter? He's been getting chased by opponents. And then when they're too little, he does a little bit of the walking down. Sometimes you get out, Hank Lundy was outboxing him at portions of the fight, took rounds off of him. Gamboa took about the first 3 rounds off of him. Derry Jean maybe stole a round in there. The shorter fighters tend to outquick him and outbox him. And like I said, 135 was was like a second amateur career. 140 was like a third amateur career. And it was times at 130, I looked to the fight and I said, he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to get back. He's fine with the bragging rights he has right now. The Molina fight, it should have became more of an inside fight for him and got John Molina's respect on the inside and made John Molina sit at bay more, and he wouldn't have to hold so much, and he probably would have got the stoppage earlier as well. But when you just grappling onto him, man, he may take that as, it may tire him out, but he may take it as you're scared of me, and it may make him more confident. It may make him more confident. In John Molina's case, it tended to make him a little bit more confident to keep seeking Terence Crawford and throw the big haymaker that he would occasionally land on his chin or at the top of his head. And I didn't like that performance. He said he punished John. He did. That is not what I'm talking about. You can take little tidbits of the fight, the punishing part, and you can forget about everything else, and you could take the fight in as a whole. If you're taking it in only for Terrence's side, you're being a fanboy. We know what happened at the end of the day, but we're talking about Styles making fights and looking at things that he could get better as better in areas he could get better in before he's really fighting the Porters, the Thurmans, the Taylors when they move up. Okay. If my prediction is right, definitely the Taylors, and also maybe a Spence. I don't even think him and Spence are ever gonna fight, to be honest with you. And I'm not upset about it. I think the best fight for Terence Crawford is a Keith Thurman that gets his swagger back. All right, that's the best fight. I don't think Spence really needs to bang out any of these welterweights for credit. I just don't. I just feel like he should go to 54 right now, but you know, he is where he is and is what it is. He said, you want to know if Terence can fight a good counterpuncher. It's not just that. It's not, well, I've seen him fight a counterpuncher, Hank Lundy, and I ain't like what I saw for a lot of that fight. Hank was very, you know, shorter arms, and you know, and he was just, he was outboxing Terence Crawford. There was situations where his jab was getting off. Terence Crawford was needing to make adjustments versus fighters that he should have been blowing out. But yeah, man, like I don't see the adjustments y'all see right now. I see like kitty adjustments. I see obvious adjustments, right? Sean Porter was faced with an adjustment. He said no Crawford versus Spence. Thurman or Porter is what we want to see. Crawford going to be undisputed. I don't know what you mean. Maybe he will be. Maybe he will be. But he's in the worst position right now. He put himself there politically, but hey, that's a different story. But Porter was faced with a decision last night. He didn't make it. Like I thought, like I said, the fight could have been so much easier for him if he quit electing to break the distance repeatedly. He elected to get on the man's chest and remove himself from the man's chest, and then do it all over again. But the problem was coming into that, you know, crossing those lines of fire, you know, dodging those bullets. He would get caught every now and then. Now, give Porter the credit. He would stay in and he would finish the sequence, and sometimes he would get the better shot of the last 2 or 3 shots. I do think Terence Crawford is a good exchanging fighter, and that comes a bit from the amateur background he has. Like, if you hit him, he'll stay in his exchange. Now, if it's too hard, he's gonna look real funny, and that's gonna play out for the judges. If you hit him real hard and he's swinging and he get wild, as the judges, they look at things like that, and you know that's bad for him. So I would say, I guess it's just a gamble. When you're swinging and another person swinging, it's a gamble. Porter more or less would take a little bit of the risk from gambling away by changing his level. Some Crawford don't do as much because he's been taught to fight tall and not change levels as much. So I think him and Ugas, the only place I look at and say, well, Terence could possibly blow him out is with the longer arms. He got longer arms than Ugas, but I don't know if Ugas measurements are right or not, because last night that dude looked lengthy in that mud. He looked like he had them arms didn't look like no gators to me. No 69-inch reach on the 5'10" man. 5'10" man with 69-inch reach. You got gator arms. And they didn't look like that last night. But let me check again real quick. Porter versus Ugas. Yeah. Let me check. Nah, man. Well, honestly, Sean Porter got some pretty long arms for his body. And Ugas just don't look like, I mean, nah, man. He got a bend in his arm. It's a deep bend in his arm. But when those things straighten out to throw a punch, that shit's gonna go away. And that dude got some pretty long arms, man. I don't know if 69 looks suitable to what I'm looking at right now, but the measurements are the measurements. I'm pretty sure fighters aren't trying to like stretch and extend fully to get our way. He probably just putting this shit out there with that bend in it and taking a good inch or two away from himself. But yeah, man, some fighters may not be doing that. You know, they really want every little measurement to feel confident or whatever. It gives them, you know, he said probably about 70 for Ugas. I'd say about 71, 72, maybe 3. You know, I would go there for, but 69, no. Ugas kept missing the jab because his arms were shorter than the normal welterweight. Now, he kept missing he landed a few of them. He landed nice jabs, but he kept missing it because Porter tends to out jab everybody he fights, except for Kell Brook. And that, like I said, is because his jab comes from low. He cuts the distance well, unlike Terence Crawford so far. Terence Crawford has not showed me that he comes into the line of fire effectively. Now with Benavidez, he was coming in there and Benavidez was standing his ground. And for the first 7-8 rounds, we had a competitive, close fight. You had Benavidez landing sometime 3, 4, 5 shots in a row unanswered, and they stiff shots. And it's all because what Terence does is he's standing still and he'll get the moving side to side. But when the straight line comes, when the dash to the line or to the fighter that he's trying to hit comes, it becomes a straight line. It becomes him leaping instead of him still using that movement, cutting that distance and pushing Benavidez back. Now, another factor in this, Benavidez couldn't go back effectively. All right. He was stumbled back because the bullet in his leg. And his team, the commentary, they admitted, yo, this dude's not ready for this fight, but he's taking it anyways, because the knee. Now, Ugas with Porter, Porter coming forward. Sometimes he stand his ground. Other times he back on off and just say, nah, I'm control. If he was landing a jab to the body with Porter, because Porter's just moving around and he's stepping in saying, okay, I'll take that point. I'll take that point. If he's got about 3 or 4 points, what Ugas would do is say, I see you coming, Sean, and I know you only want to fight every 30 seconds. He would just break the range, and Sean would go back to his back pedal. I didn't think I've given Kenny and Sean a lot of credit on having good game plans. This one, not so much. Even before the fight, they're walking into the fight. I'm like, yo, they don't get enough credit. Kenny has some pretty damn good game plan, but this one here, not so much. Sean should have stayed on his chest a little bit more. You can't look at Sean's face and be like, but he took less punishment boxing. I'm like, no, he didn't. Look at his face. He cut up. He took some shots. It was a damn good fight. He said, the first 5 to 6 rounds low. They showed him 7 to 9. Crawford outboxed him 3 to 4 punches for every one. It was about I think I got into like the 8th round the other day, and it was a close fight. It was a good fight going on. And remember, Benavidez wobbled Crawford to the body. He hit Crawford so hard in the body, Crawford took about 3 false steps and had to catch his balance back. And then when he caught his balance back, he had to walk back in front of Benavidez. Benavidez's legs so bad that Crawford wobbling and jumping off to a different spot from the body shot had to come back and get back in front of Benavidez because Benavidez couldn't follow up. Now, Ugas, with the body shots he was landing on Porter, if he sees Crawford doing that and he's not worried about walking in turns, he's worried about walking into Porter because what Porter does well. Porter, if you walk on the Porter, what he's going to do is let you come. If you engage too much, he's going to take a step in and a hard pivot. That's not Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is going to try to turn his shoulder and start exchanging. It gets a little amateurish with Crawford. With Porter is very technical and people don't like it. It's very, very, it starts from the feet, then it brings in the hand. With Terence Crawford, is everything basically starts at his waist if you start attacking him. And the footsteps go back. I guess you could say start there, but it's the waist is the most important thing. He's looking to turn and counter punches. So I would like to see him and Ugas fight. Maybe that's too much for Ugas. Maybe not. Like I said, Al Heyman gives away his B-sides. I do not think Terence Crawford is just ready to throw it. Well, maybe he's ready in there and ready to throw in there with a Thurman right now because Thurman need his get back or whatever. But the best of Thurman that we saw, it will be a hard ass for him to get in there. The best of Porter and Porter is, I don't think he's gonna let Crawford just sit in the middle of the ring with Ugas. Porter gonna come get it in that fight. He gonna have everything on the line because y'all giving Terence Crawford so much hype. He gonna come get it. And I don't know, man. I wouldn't like Terence Crawford. I wouldn't like to know if a guy's gonna dig down deep after learning all of these kind of bum beating tactics. I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. He's learned a lot of a lot of amateurish bum beating tactics. Look at the people he's been fighting. It works. It works. He's learned a lot of these things. We could just go through the career, man, and you could just easily look at it name by name and just say what the advantage was, what was easily done, why this guy isn't that, why this guy isn't that, why this guy isn't that. And maybe you could do that with a lot of people's careers, but at some part you get to at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 names, and you're like, but hey, this fight right here, Crawford ain't got that fight yet. And I don't like him being 31 years old and we saying ask one of the older dogs to learn a bit of new tricks versus a world-class fighter like Porter, Thurman, or Spence. And and he's not gonna just get Thurman to come fight him while Thurman ain't ready. Y'all know that ain't gonna happen. And Kenny Porter just recently said the Spence fight is more attractive to them because it's more money. It's easier to negotiate. He said, good point. We've never seen that dog in Crawford. I mean, you've seen it in lower level fights. It's just like, but when the competition steps up and the techniques step up and the dog is actually still there with the fighters, maybe more than yours, they've shown more dog than you ever had in your career. You better hope, you better hope they a little worn. But like I said, this is his third amateur career. He had a 35 amateur career, a 140 amateur career, and now he's a bit at 147 with the amateur career. Look at the opponent, Amir Khan. Amir Khan is Paulie Malignaggi's telling the truth about it. He made a great point that, we never really seen Khan get knocked down or wobble without a person punching with him. Like, Samuel Vargas is slow as shit to Amir Khan and to every other welterweight. And Samuel Vargas was able to lead punch Khan to the ground. Lead on him and put him down. And that, Khan's coming into fights looking like a 30-year-old now. A 30-year-old is taking 4 weeks out the gym multiple times in a year. 4 weeks here and there, 4 weeks here and there. Oh, I'm going to just run a few days. Just long as I don't get blown up fat, but he starts gaining just that regular person body instead of that boxer's body. He just get that regular person's body, and above average. When you're out of camp, you want to be at an above average body. You want to have an above average body. You go into camp, you want to have a boxer's body when it's done. Okay, Khan is going and he's going average person, sometimes below, and it looks like multiple fucking weeks at a time. So that's slowing him down along with him getting punched all up in the head as much as he had. And what most fighters, to me, like, say if you're undefeated at 31, 32 and you start doing that, what slows you down is a difference in the lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like just a difference in the lifestyle for people who haven't been punched. Like I just explained with Khan, but on top of that, Khan's getting punched in the head. So Terence Crawford is, in the fight where he should dominate. We're going to see, are these going to be lost rounds for you? Are they, we're going to see 2 or 3 lost rounds. That's an issue if we do. You can say, well, Khan does this to this person, You've had, I won't be buying the hype. I won't be buying the hype. I'm not buying it now. And to say that everybody else did this when Khan was something different, I won't be buying the hype. It says it's hard to outbox Khan. That's the thing. Why outbox him when you could just do what Chris Algieri did to him and be better than Chris Algieri? Walk him down. You're Terence Crawford. You're Terence Crawford, the guy that's supposed to be the greatest adjuster in boxing, the best of the best in boxing. Walk Amir Khan down. Samuel Vargas can walk him down with no athleticism and no kind of punch variety, just about no jab, different things he doesn't have. You're Terence Crawford. Make the perfect game plan. This is not only his second, third amateur career, it's his team's amateur career. You ain't seen no Bomac nowhere. Let's see what his game plan is going to be like in these fights. If it's just float around the ring and avoid altercation with Amir Khan, I'm not impressed, people. If it's like keep Amir Khan in the center of the ring, dive in when we want, I'm not impressed. I'm just not going to be. It's like, yeah, come on, man. You be better than that. He said, I think Crawford should punch with Khan and stop him. Yeah, but I don't think he should do it in the sense of like an arm's reach type deal. Like just standing there. I think he should be coming with him and make Khan sort of commit off the back foot. And if he don't commit, you commit. I think he should be coming into him and right there alone, Khan from pressure, Khan is breaking. Khan breaks with pressure already. With slow pressure fighters, imagine if it's a guy who has some athleticism like Terence Crawford. It should be quick and easy work. Like I don't like comparing this guy to these people because y'all immediately start thinking that's the fight I want. I'm just trying to tell y'all, like, go look at Errol Spence's career, people. He doesn't lose rounds. All right. Kell Brook is the only guy since he's been a real contender that he's lost a round to. Terence Crawford, since he's been a contender champion. Ricky Burns took rounds. Gamboa took rounds. I think he pitched the shutout with Beltran, my personal opinion. Lundy took rounds. It happens, bro. Diaz took a round or two, and these are short guys, little guys. Like, bro, you should be pushing them back, dominating the fight, but you're just taking it. You're basically, it was basically building up his hype. All those were building up his hype, and it worked. It worked. He's got a name. These would just build up the hype fights. Watch him throw pretty punches, and it worked on people who let their emotions get in boxing rather than people who saying, hey man, this ain't no damn competitive fight. And you still making it a competitive fight. You still giving rounds away, I should at least say. You still showing flaws, whereas other people, I wouldn't be as high as Spence as I am if he lost 3 rounds to Chris Algieri. You know, I wouldn't be high on Spence if he lost 3 rounds to Lamont Peterson, then made the adjustment. No, sirree. No, don't work that way. Dominance should be rewarded, and people who aren't dominant, we should ask fights of them on their level and see what they get better at and see what they don't. It's 11 people watching right now. 3 people hit the thumbs up. If you're watching, you appreciate the content, slap that thumbs up, and I appreciate it. You know, a few people in the comment section. I'm trying to read y'all comment sections. Y'all comments as we go. He said, "Who Ugas was with Heyman?" Yeah, he's with Heyman, but Heyman tends to give away the B-side fighters. And I mean, I think that's a perfect platform for him to try to get that Terence Crawford fight. Just, I would like to see the exact same fight. You know, if I'm Ugas, I don't think Ugas wins the fight. I believe Terence somehow lands the flashier punches because Ugas isn't that versed. But it's tough for him. You know, it's a learning experience if he elects to fight the correct way. And maybe Terence decides, you look, I'm trying to step in on this dude and I'm getting clipped. He doesn't have the Benavidez peg leg. Let me push him back and see what he wants to do from there. All right. I would like to see that out of Terence Crawford because I don't think he's just going to be able to keep on side to side because like I said, he has a side to side. Then he stopped side to side, and he just leaps in from whatever side he elects to stop on. All right. If he stops in his right, he tends to leap with a lead uppercut and with the chin up in the air, and he's got countered with that several times. Benavidez, man, if Benavidez could punch ridiculously hard, bro, them shots right there, you might be laying face first on the canvas. He said YouTube needs to call me personally when peeps go live. Well, some people don't get the things. I'll be noticing that too. But yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here anyways. I just wanted to make a good little stylistic comparison. I want y'all to see if that fight go down. That you can definitely count on that happening if Ugas takes that style. You could count on Terence Crawford being the guy closer to the ropes, Ugas center of the ring. Maybe Crawford's, you know, maybe doing too much movement like Porter. Maybe he just, you know, takes the center of the ring with him, say, okay, we're going to box at arm length. I'm going to try to make my jab longer and more important than what your arms are based on the numbers. But like I said, I think his arms are actually longer than what those numbers suggest. He just got a deep-ass bend in his arm because he got some pretty cut-up arms. But when he's shooting that shot and he popping that elbow, that shit going to go straight. You know what I'm saying? Getting that elbow in that shot, it's going to go straight and he going to measure something out. You know, fighters probably ain't doing no reach, you know, doing a reach with their arms, you know, going towards the wall, like trying to grab one wall and the other wall at once. Nah, they just sitting up there comfortable, like, take this shit, let's go. Most fighters, more than likely. Some probably out here like, yeah, man, make me look scary. Ain't gonna matter. You don't get in the ring and that reach gonna tell when them first jabs land. Where we at, and from there it's all good. But body shots of Ugas, the jab of Ugas, it was all right last night. You know what I mean? The counter punching the Ugas. It'd be tough for him. The non-committal of Ugas, that's important. You don't commit to Crawford. Shit, you make him go do the committing. That chin gonna go up in the air for you. That chin is going to go up in the air for you. And we'll see what they can deal with from there, see how they deal with it from there. But I would like to see that fight. I would like to see it next, to be honest with you. Crawford Ugas, if he gets past Khan, no matter how he does it, you know what I mean? Khan shouldn't have never been an opponent in the first place. No matter how he does it, I would like to see Ugas next. But I'm going to get out of here. If you're watching, please hit the thumbs up. 10 people in right now. If you haven't hit it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And also, you'll see a bell icon once you do that. If you haven't hit that bell icon, go ahead and do that now. Get notifications the next time that I go live. If YouTube elects to send the notifications. But yeah, thumbs up. Subscribe, bell icon for notifications. You can share the video with your friends on social media and your social media boxing and sports groups, and also on the boxing and sports forums that you attend all throughout the World Wide Web. I greatly appreciate the support of the channel and the growth. And till next time, I'm out. Ain't no place like low place.